Okay. Just making sure it actually is going live. Perfect. And channel. Perfect. All right. I like seeing things actually working for a change. That makes me happy. Let's put this over here. All right, let's get this shindig started. And this should automatically go to the YouTube channel for those who like looking at the recordings. Otherwise, you can also find them on the Twitch, Mixer, whatever. All right, let's do this here. Get the old recap. Everything's looking good. All right. So, I guess as a preface here, let me start by saying, for anybody watching or viewing this live or through recording, hello and welcome to our humble gaming table. If you don't know us, we are just a bunch of nerdy friends who enjoy playing tabletop games. But before we jump into today's game, I just would like to remind anybody watching or listening, however you choose to consume this, this is not a board game show. This is rather a live play of our Dungeons & Dragons game. We are not online celebrities. We're just average folk like you, having a good time playing a good game. So feel free to participate in our chat, ask us any questions, and just have fun along with us. Everyone is welcome at our gaming table. With that said, last we left off. Upon arriving back at the Dragon's Flower, your tavern in Reldon, the City of Storms, your new staff had arrived and were busy readying the establishment to open the doors to the public. Barth took Senosha, the half-orc fighter and his lover, upstairs to heal after losing her arm and being buried in flaming rubble after a powerful fiend was summoned in the illegal arena beneath the Crossswords Manor in the Ringward. Meanwhile, Boggle had healed Cindy, the half-golem arena combatant that helped to rescue Senosha from the collapsed flaming rubble. Once Barth had returned to the tavern's main floor, Lord Ryrak Stoneheart told you about the findings of his Fearless Lander's contacts, about the Damros Villa and the mysterious tiefling who had escaped the explosion outside of your tavern days ago. The Fearless Landers had confirmed the tiefling was seen entering Lord Damros' villa, but when the city guard was sent to investigate the sightings of this suspicious person, Lord Damros had denied any such persons on the estate, and that there was nothing going on. Lord Ryrak told you about the House of Animated Connections, temple to the gnomish god, the Wonderbringer, as the strange, twisted puppet that was seen on the day of the explosion could have been another half-golem. He recommended speaking with the clergy there about the half-golems and for any assistance with Senosha's condition. Heading to the Temple of the Wonderbringer, a small puppet-like man let loose a mechanical bird that Elodia, your Wood Elven Ranger, had quickly destroyed. Barth taking the remains of the mechanical sparrow, placing it in his pack. Upon entering the temple and seeing the various strange contraptions within on display, you soon met with a half-copper dragon named Veridalin. And after explaining your sightings and why you were there, took you to meet Epi, a half-golem that they were trying to teach the ways of the Wonderbringer. You discovered that Epi created another half-golem against the temple's teachings. This half-golem had escaped the temple about a month ago. While perusing the attic, Eri found an odd contraption which was later confirmed to be a half-golem detector that could be used to track down Epi's creation. Veridalin explained how to work the detector as she and the other acolytes removed Epi's equipment. Cindy spent his time comforting this half-golem Epi while his favorite equipment was removed. Soon after, you decided to head to the Damaros Villa to case the estate while Eri used her contacts to purchase poisons, specifically drow poison, as well as to buy a few discreet black masks to help disguise your identities when it was time to enter the villa after darkness had fallen. Upon entering the villa, you found that agents of the Mouths of Madness and the villa's own guards had clashed in a bloody conflict. You eventually found the suspicious tiefling, but he was killed trying to escape you and the manor. Upon further exploration to the manor, you encountered Lord Damaros. Eri, using intimidation upon the Lord, managed to have him confess that his family was bankrolling the Mouths of Madness in a plot to kidnap Lord Ryrak. He also confessed of knowledge of the half-golem who was trying to kill a gnome in order to steal a very important gem. He confessed that his wife had the gem and that the gem housed the spirit of some sort of creature. Upon finding Lady Damaros, Barth tried to use magic to persuade and suggest her to cooperate. However, the magic did not seem to take the desired effect, but Barth did spot a picture of Sunosha as a child with her half-orc mother and a portrait of Lady Damaros and the rest of her family. You all made haste to leave the manor as the guards were quickly approaching. You took 3 of the draft horses as well as a riding horse, making speed through the city, trying to avoid the arrival of the City Watch as well as the Relden Dragoon Riders flying on drakes high above the city streets. Amory headed to one of her own contacts' hideout, while Cindy returned to the Temple of the Wonderbringer. Barth, Elodia, and Boggle all made their way to the docks to lay low, while Eri headed back to the Dragon's Flower Tavern. And this is where we're going to pick off from today. So, do you all take rest at your retrospective hiding spots for the remainder of the evening, or do you wish to do something else before you head to bed for the evenings after having fled the manor?
Once Eri goes back, confirms that she was here the whole time, she will go down to the docks for a little bit. The Drake's Brook District.
Okay. Now, when you go into the Drakesbrook district, are you going into anywhere specific? Are you going to a specific tavern or trying to locate specific contacts? What exactly is Ari looking for when she arrives at the Drakebrook district?
Harry is going to be on the streets looking for. She's going to be looking at elves, half elves, sailor, just seeing if anything odd is happening because she's heard rumors.
Okay, well, it is very late at night. Most of the activities on the docks that at least you can see just at a passing glance is either by the ships themselves for people who have made port, trying to unload or load cargo in some of the nearby warehouses. And the docks are patrolled by city guard to help, keep the security, especially with a lot of the expensive wares that come and go. Not to mention the fact that it is late at night and it is, if any illegal activity would occur, it probably would have a higher rate of happening now. So, outside of the docks, most of the action is going to be at some of the local taverns, some of these other ships that have made port, the sailors and other crewmen basically getting their R&R from these places, getting drunk, trying to keep good desired company with some of the locals at the taverns, or some of them just trying to sleep in a nice, comfortable bed as opposed to some of the cots that they have on the ship. So, out of the inns or the docks, where would Ari like to go to look at some of the sailors to try to get a better view if anything suspicious was going on?
Well, unfortunately, she didn't get hints on where things were happening, so she'll probably start at the inns.
At the inns? Okay. All right. So, making your way to the Broken Blade Tavern, a tavern that you've been familiar with, right at the heart of the Drakesbrook district, not too far away from some of the docks. Also, located in some of the more suspicious areas of the docks, considering that a lot of the lamps have been kind of broken, all the candles taking out, creating a lot of shadows with the overhanging buildings that run parallel with the street. There's a good bit of ruckus, and they're not an overwhelming a bit. There is still some music being played by a minstrel. There is sounds of some drunken laughter, the sounds of metallic forks hitting metallic plates. As you enter in the tavern, there's you have a middle-aged woman behind the bar. She is a half elf. Her hair is just kind of pulled back into a long ponytail with a little white, almost ribbon behind it. Wears kind of a light yellow blouse with a little kind of light brown apron tied around her waist. Very simple. She has a little pair of glasses on that looks like they've been repaired more than once. She sees you enter in and kind of with a little tired look on her face, greets you with a little smile. She seems to be busy cleaning up some of the bar where some of the patrons have just recently left.
Well, Ari will go up and, in her overly chipper way, greet herself and ask, so a few weeks ago I heard there were bad people out here and people are turning up dead, and I'm an investigator. Do you know anything?
Make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn my, oh, the word always slips my mind. Channel Divinity
Channel Divinity.
to add +5 to my persuasion for 10 minutes. Which I needed 15.
All right. So she kind of looks up like she's trying to recall. Well, I did hear about some strange murders that happened a few weeks ago. Some poor folk were being decapitated, losing their heads. But I haven't heard too much beyond that after the strange incidents that have been going on with the city. A lot of the guild wars going on, as they say.
They must have known I was on the case and ran off. But I suppose just to cover any loose ends. Do you know anything about the people? Were they all like pirates on the Swabby McStabby?
Well, I don't know them per se, but I heard they're all dark elves.
Fascinating. I mean, that matches my investigation. And Aries gonna start checking the tavern for any dark elves.
All right, so since you were trying to do also kind of look for anything suspicious as well, I want you to make a perception check as well as a insight check. The insight is for the suspicious persons. The perception is for the drow. Could be trying to maybe disguise themselves.
Well, a 15 on perception and a 16 on insight.
So, in terms of the insight, some of the patrons seem to be a little more on edge to you, like a little more defensive. Like they're still having a good time with people at their table, but they do seem to be eyeing some of the people not at their table a bit more than what you'd expect. Most times, people will be focused on their card games or their games of knucklebone or dice, or just drinking and eating, telling tales, having a good time. While they are doing their own endeavors at their tables, they seem to be seems to be a lot of tension in the air as they kind of look at some of the other patrons there. It's almost like their hands are a bit closer to their weapons than you would normally suspect. Now,
That could be anything, though.
now in terms of perception around the bar for any dark elves, eyeing about even some of the fellows that have, hoods on, just kind of keeping to themselves. You take a good hard look at them, and they they don't seem to be dark elf in any nature, be it half elf, half dark elf, or full dark elven.
Hmm. Alrighty, well, thanks for the information, miss. I should be getting home.
You sure you want to have a nice warm ale before you go? The night ale will chill your bones.
Nah, I'll be good, but here, and she takes out 5 silver pieces. I
Okay.
think this is how this is supposed to go. I don't know. I'm pretty new at this.
Oh well, thank you very much. You have a safe trip home, and please do come back.
Thank you. Bye. And Ari's gonna go out, run outside, and set up and wait for the group that looked a little bit more on edge to come out.
Okay. While you're waiting for that other group, some of the other patrons that are on edge to exit the tavern. The rest of you, Elodia, Barth, Boggle, did you also make your way to the Broken Blade, or did you go to another tavern, or did you do something else while you were at the docks in the Drake Brook district? Don't all talk out at once. Not hearing you, Barth. There you go. I can hear you.
Well, really, Barth was gonna more go to a guy that he knows back from his days on working on a merchant ship, and lay low with that guy.
Okay, so you're going to one of your merchant ships, not a problem. And now, when you go lay well with him, do you talk to him about anything, or you just kind of pull your favors with him, like, hey, I need a place to stay for tonight? You got any room on your ship where I can just kind of crash? Or is there something more involved to the conversation?
Yeah, pretty much that.
Okay.
Keep out of the way. Don't ask questions.
Low profile. Very good after tonight's other activities. All right. Let's see here. Now, what about you, Boggle? Are you transforming into an animal while you're at your docks, or are you actually staying someplace as a halfling? I mean, a gnome. He might be AFK because he did say that he would be back and forth. So,
Wasn't Boggle like tagging along with Barth? So I decided I
well,
would tag
well,
along
you
as
all
well.
went to the district. However, Barth went to one of his contacts on a ship. So, you and Boggle, I guess, would be up to your own endeavors after entering the district then. So where would Elodia go when she enters the district with Boggle?
I don't know. Well, whatever Boggle decides to do.
Well, I think if I recall what Boggle said he was going to do was he was going to go be an animal and wasn't it a squid or something in the
Oh
the bay?
yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah. Oh well, I can't do that. So
Oh, come on. Well, you go to a store, buy yourself a little fin, and
and disguise myself. I do have a disguise kit.
I I think it takes a little more to be an actual squid or a little shark in the waters of the harbor here than just a fake wooden painted fin and some flippers. So if Elodia left to her own devices, would she go to an inn? Would she do something else?
I'll just go to an inn.
Okay. All right. So, making your way to one of the few inns that you know in the Drakesbrook district, the Broken Blade, with your advanced perception, you have no trouble spotting Aerie, who is just kind of just loitering on the outside of this ramshack little tavern.
And what's Aerie doing?
She's just kind of standing on the outside, just kind of minding her own. What else is Aerie doing as she's waiting for these suspicious parties to exit the tavern?
Aerie's trying to be sneaky, definitely singing her song of stuff.
Is it obvious that she's trying to be sneaky and it's not working out?
She might be hiding behind a rubbish bin, from one direction, sitting in the middle, right next to the.
Is she like Thor from Ragnarok, just kind of putting like a little scarf gently over her face? See, I'm in disguise.
Does she see me?
Well, since you're not hiding, yeah, she would see you approach.
Okay, then I'll approach her. It's like, what are you doing?
I'm hiding.
From what?
I heard some stories a few weeks ago about bad guys who were cutting off the heads of half-elves and elves, and I came out here finally to put an end. I'm a little behind the power curve, you might say, but I'm here.
This is not really a good hiding spot, Aerie. So I'll try to find like a good hiding spot for both of us. And then I'll just hang out.
All right, make a wisdom check. So, just kind of using your enhanced elven sight, your knowledge of just surroundings, your experience in such matters, kind of do quickly perusing all the darkness here and about. You do manage to find a much better hiding spot to watch the Broken Blade's doors, while causing less attention to yourself or Aerie. So the spot that you find is actually kind of across the street, not directly across from it, but more of at one of the corner streets, by this weird shop that's currently closed. But there's a little alley that has some little crates and boxes that look like they've been broken, some rubbish and refuse. You're able to kind of duck behind those, and as long as you don't move too much, you feel that this would make a pretty good hiding spot while giving you full view of the tavern's doors. So I want you and Ari to make stealth checks.
All right, well, that 11's probably the best I'm gonna do for the night, but let's try. Claudia, why you were my hope.
I know, right?
6.
Apparently, you both found like the only pair of tin buckets on the street and stepped in. So
Harry sing her song of stealth.
talking, a bit loudly, and so you both go behind the crates, waiting for somebody to exit so that you can see what they're up to. While you both are waiting on that, Cindy.
You okay there?
Yeah, wow.
Oh, guys, I think his voice modulator broke.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Welcome back.
A whole lot of activity. I got people in my house.
Yeah, your voice modulator's not quite working the way you intended there.
Discordant as an administrator.
Sounds like Alvin and the Chipmunks on speed. Alvin! So, I guess while we're waiting for Cindy to
You
get...
know, this problem is my fault. I forgot that I had
It's alright, man.
cleaning people coming to my house.
So, it's alright if you gotta go. You've already mentioned that you'll have to go, so just let us know when you have to go.
And I had to chew someone's ass on the phone yesterday. They still have not finished that wall in my backyard.
Well, you do the chewing and get that situated. So let's get back to the game focus here. Emery.
Yeah, she'd be spending the night here.
Well, I understand she's going to spend the night there, but does she do anything else while she's there other than getting a secure, discreet location settled?
So if I remember correctly, and by remember I mean rereading what I sent to you last week, she was wanting to ask a few things. One of those being, so can you guys make this horse look any different so I can keep it?
Disguise the horse.
Paint shop for the horse.
Oh, I mean, they can get you another riding horse. You know, they can exchange that, but for other than just like doing cosmetic changes, like dyeing the horse like a different color, you know, the magic that would be involved with that is not something that they deal with, and would be also a little more advanced than what they could currently offer on top of that. So the simpler solution would probably be to just swap out the horse.
I knew I should have opted. Yeah, I guess she'll swap out the horse, keep the horseshoes.
Okay, so they can assist in getting the horseshoes off and onto another horse.
Alright, and she's wanting to ask about if anyone there can help her with taming the snakes.
The 2 flying snakes that you stole at the villa.
Hey, it wasn't stealing, it was a proper trade. He lived, I got snakes.
So, let's see.
You do have Boggle.
But I wonder if... I haven't seen Boggle do anything with animals other than talking with them. So I don't know how well he could try and go, hey, yeah, snake buddies.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea as he can,
Friends.
you know... I mean, he can turn into a snake. Also, any kind of speak with animals, things like that would also help in communicating with them. So it wouldn't be a bad idea, but you don't know how well it could work. I mean, he could just piss off the snakes, and that would be very bad for what you're trying to do. They do not have anybody on the premises that could train the snakes, or at least assist. They don't have anybody that specializes in that. Usually, with dealing with such creatures, they're usually, extracting certain venoms and other parts of the serpents. So, they are not able to help you in retraining them. Though there may be other people in the city who could assist you with that. The people currently at your hideout, there's no one there with those set of skills.
Noted. And for the final one sec, let me scroll back. She was wanting to ask them why Mr. Pit fighting robed or bandaged man was there, if they know.
So, let's see if they have any. The ones that you talk to over there for your organization, they're not aware of why he would be there, let alone why he would willingly be, let himself be incarcerated from what you described. Because someone of his standing, as someone of your standing, could easily get out of manacles and incarceration. It's one of the very first things they teach you is how to escape when you screw up.
Listen, I don't have a good track record with opening those things or kinds of thing on the first try. I wouldn't say
it's fine.
I keep snapping the fucking little lockpicks.
Just have Elodie nearby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, she's just, a walking set of lockpicks for you, so hey. But
Yeah,
no,
just 3 times he's had to borrow lockpicks from me.
it's crazy.
I just keep not wanting it. I don't know why.
The only thing that they could really say is that if one of your type are incarcerated like that, it's because they chose to be for whatever reason. But they don't know what kind of, task, what contract he may have been on at the time. That's not something they have access to.
Alright. Well, that's all that she was wanting to find out about.
All right. So, with that, let us move on.
Can you all hear me then?
We could hear you before, but you sounded,
Yeah, I got that. It was my driver messing up.
Cindy had to reboot his software.
Do it.
I think he just got doused with a little bit too much water while running.
You want to try that again? We'll jump back to you.
I wasn't using my morph software, so yeah, just whenever.
Yeah, I mean we'll jump to you right now. Since Cindy was going back to the Temple of the Wonderbringer, what is he doing while he is there?
He's just going to go into an idle mode. He'll walk through the main building and kneel in front of the in front of the statue of the Wonderbringer with his sword in front of him, pointed in the ground, head bowed, repentant knight.
Okay. All right. So going back to Elodia and Eri, who are watching the outside of the Broken Blade. You do see one of the groups of sailors exit. Some of them are kind of half drunk. Not so much that they stumble everywhere, but you can just see it through the look on their faces, the glossy eyes, some of the slurred speech as they exit. They do seem to be making their way towards the actual docks where the ships are at.
Elodia, can you see any dark elves with them?
Do I see any dark elves?
Make a perception check. You do not see anybody but two half elves and a halfling.
No, I don't see anybody. What's the plan, Ari? Like, what if we see a dark elf? What do we do? Are we following?
Yep. Because if the assassin is still out there, we'll jump him, we'll beat him up, and we'll turn him into the... I'll be heroes.
Okay, I like that plan.
But if they're moving as a group, I don't think that's... Do you think we should wait, or do you think we should follow them?
We can wait.
Okay. So, while you are waiting, one hour goes by, and nothing unusual seems to be happening. Another hour goes by, and still you do not see any dark elves or any other activity than, occasional people exiting the tavern after they've had their fill of drink and, breads and cheeses and various meats that they serve up.
One more hour, Elodia, then I think I'm going home, because I gotta teach Hal how to start working on weapons in the morning. Which is
Okay.
now, I think. Is it morning? I think it's morning.
Yeah, it's getting close. So, one more hour goes by, and as about the end of the hour passes, you do see a drow elf, a dark elf. He's not exiting the tavern, though. He is coming by through the street itself, just walking down the dark street. Has a rapier still in his hilt, but he also has what appears to be a firearm also.
You know what? I'm bored sitting here. Let's follow.
Okay, well, we're gonna follow. I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace. So if we're trying to sneak and follow, well, we're a little bit more quiet.
Elodie, are you saying I'm loud? Clang, clang, clang.
Yes.
All right, so you're casting Pass Without Trace. All right. All right, so make another stealth check, both of you. And remember, you have that nice, hefty plus 10 bonus on it.
15.
Exactly why I cast that spell.
So, as you, okay, so you cast a spell and you begin to try to follow this dark elf. Elodia, you exit the alley, keeping with the shadows as you normally do, being the silent killer that you are. You have no trouble just starting to follow this drow elf. When Aerie comes out, however, even with your magical aid, Aerie manages to knock over some of the boxes there. Just kind of bumps into them to make a little noise. This catches the dark elf's attention as he whips around and looks in Aerie's direction. And what do you do, Aerie?
All right, play it cool. She's gonna
Quick,
look at
act
him for a
drunk.
moment, and then just start waving wildly. Hello.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, I've got a plan.
And he stops. He's got a little eye patch on. He has a dark, not quite a royal blue, but almost like a navy blue bandana on, which helps keeps his shoulder length black hair kind of pulled back. He has one hand right at the hilt of his firearm. Doesn't have it drawn up pointing out as you, just kind of waving your hands. What do you want? It's a little late to be wandering the streets, is it not?
No, it's really early. In another few hours, the sun will rise. What are you doing out this late?
It's none of your business.
Oh, that's a fancy gun. Can I see it? Oh, yeah, I'm distracted.
What are you supposed to do?
That's your part of the plan. I don't know.
You're drunk. Go home before you get yourself hurt or killed. It's clacking
Okay,
like
look.
that.
Look, that's why I'm out here. I'm on the trail of a murderer.
Isn't that the job for the city guard?
I'm a paladin. It's always my job.
Well, good luck with that. I'm going to leave now. You take care. And he just slowly starts to back up a bit, keeping an eye on you for several paces before kind of turning around and, like, occasionally just looking back towards you, making sure you're not doing any sudden movements as he walks down the street. Do you do anything?
Lodia, he's acting really suspicious.
I'm gonna try to follow him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell Ari, like, I'm gonna follow him. You can. I don't know what you want to do, but I'll try to follow him and see what he's.
Here, I'll go to the next street over and try to follow that way.
Alright, so while Lodia is following him under magical stealth with modified 29. Let's see here. So, he doesn't seem to notice you, Alodia, as he just continues walking down the streets. He does kind of keep an eye out a bit more from what you can see, just from the strange human that was waving him down in the middle of the early mornings, claiming she was a paladin. He isn't accosted, but he does go to the docks to a set of 3 ships. I want you to make a history check just by the look and design of these ships. They do have banners there, but all right, well, while you're not familiar with the banners themselves, you're not a seafarer. You do recognize that these are ships from Gogglehelm, at least all 3 of them. And he enters one of them, but they all have the same kind of design. You're not sure what all 3 of these are doing here in Reldon. That's something you may want to talk to maybe the harbor master about, some of these ships, or even some of the crew if you come by, during the day when the docks are more open to random passerbys.
Okay, is he going into the ship already?
Yeah, he's going into the ship. He checks in with some of the harbor workers that are there. The city guards seem to recognize him. They stop him and he talks to them, and they let him on to the area where the 3 Goggleheim ships are at.
Where's Ari at?
That is a good question. Make a perception check. So, making her way, not the most quiet way, but by some of the closed dock vendors, like the ones that would sell various seafood, like the fish, crabs, clams, anything that they would pull out the harbor. Now the stalls themselves, they have been cleaned out. The troughs have been cleaned out. So there's not like rotting fish there, but just kind of standing by one of the closed vendor stalls, you see Ari just kind of peeking her head out.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Ari and tell her which ship he wants.
Okay.
You know what I say to that?
What?
Good night.
Okay, I
Damn,
guess we're heading back.
that's like the most venom I've ever heard in Bree's. She's
Right?
like, she said, "What?" I'm like, "Dang, man, what do you mean?"
Just gonna kill somebody.
I'll let you ride on Nay.
Okay.
And we'll make our way back to Dragonflower.
You going back to the Dragonflower? Okay. All right. So, going back to Dragonflower, everybody rests up. Several hours pass, so you all get a long rest. When you wake up, when all you wake up, what is the first thing your characters do? Let's start with. Here, let's just go alphabetically here. Elodia, what is the first thing Elodia does when she wakes up?
Eat breakfast and have coffee.
Okay, so you go down to the main tavern, which has customers. Your hired staff is working diligently to serve their needs, and you go down and order some breakfast, as well as some piping hot coffee from the kitchens, and the workers get busy with your breakfast order. Imri, what do you do when you wake up?
Been a long night. She wants ale. So she's gonna go back to the Dragon's Flower now. On her new horse. Might I add.
Okay. So you return with your new riding horse, which you can name later. So while you're in transit back, Barth, what do you do as soon as you wake up?
Well,
Or well, rather,
Barth.
as soon as you start moving, considering Barth's
Yeah.
rather unique situation in regards to sleep.
Yes, as soon as it's daylight and as soon as activity on the docks starts up, he's going to thank his friend who gave him a place to hide out, and he's gonna start casually making his way back to the Dragon's Flower as well.
All right. Boggle, what do you do when you wake up?
Well, I eat breakfast. I'm trying to stay with the big people.
I think you're currently in the
Elodia.
harbor.
I'm in the harbor. Where am I sleeping?
I'm pretty sure you're like a squid right now.
Good God, y'all! What the heck? Y'all just left me. Y'all abandoned me.
No, that's what you said last
Yeah.
session.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
last session, that's what you said.
So you're a squid.
Okay, well, let's roleplay this out. I come out of the water onto the shore. I guess go back to being my normal self and haul booty to.
All right, you shape change back into your regular gnome form as you start walking. Like water kind of splashes with your shoes, and your clothes are wet. And everybody just kind of looks at like the dock workers early in the morning, just like, what the hell? This squid just came out of the harbor and turned into a gnome and just start walking through the streets.
Yeah, that's about right. He would be oblivious. He's like, hey, it's not.
And
normal
there's
for
like this,
everybody else. Oh,
there-
well.
there's like this fish that kind of wiggles through like your pant leg, and you pick it up. It's like, hey, breakfast, and you know.
Good lord.
All right. Ari, what do you do when you wake up?
Well, Aries gonna very groggily get out of bed, sit down, do some morning prayers.
Well, as Ari wakes up, there is something on the windowsill of her room.
Is it a letter, or are we talking like it's
It's
a ticking?
it's a serpent with wings with some bit of parchment taped to the tail, like tied to it.
Aries will take the parchment.
All right. So let me. All right, I've added a mysterious note to your handouts that you can see here, but do you want to read that privately, or would you like me to read that?
Just trying to find it real quick.
It's literally titled "Mysterious Note" under the
I've got
handouts. Hold on.
a few mysterious notes. Here we go. Yeah, we can read that out.
So, as you take the note off the snake slithers underneath the open window and just flies off. The note, as you open it up, reads, "I would like to know more about what happened at Damros Villa. If you can spare the time, meet me at the Weeping Angel statue in the Sanguine River graveyard at high sun tomorrow. You'll be paid generously for your time and trouble. Signed, Zaphi Goldhorn." Now, that name does ring a bell with you. The that name in particular, Ari, is tied with the Doomgazers that started some pretty powerful groups that you were aware of, that you've known and spoken with members of. That name is associated with the current master of trade and coin of that organization.
Well, I better attend to this. But Aries going back to her prayers, and she'll go find Hal, drag him downstairs, alternate between teaching him how to sharpen a sword and telling everybody about the note.
Okay. So, going downstairs, you see Elodia being served bits of like hard cheese, bits of small, dark brown bread, bits of eggs, that were cooked up. As you are going downstairs and you're seeing this, you also see the other customers that are here. So your place is starting to attract some attention. And no sooner than you kind of think about the potential this place has, Armory walks into the door. So, Armory, you've arrived back at the Dragon's Flower also seeing that it is attracting business. Your money well invested. You see Ari at the steps leading to the upper floors to the group's private rooms. And you see Elodia having breakfast. What do you do, Imri?
With no hesitation, she's going to go and get some mail and walk over to Ari and the group to see how things are going right now. Morning, everyone! Hi!
Hello. We're just waiting for everybody to show up so we can talk about, things and stuff.
Stuff and things.
How do you know about stuff and things?
All right, so if you're just waiting there, eventually Barth is going to arrive. Boggle is also going to arrive. And if Cindy is not doing anything special at the Wonderbringer,
Not now, no.
he will also arrive thereafter. So, with everybody into the main room, you secured one of the larger tables there, not too far away from the hearth, but not directly by it. What do y'all do?
Well, I see you all made it home.
So, about this note, Ari. You sure it's not a trap? Because, the last time we received a mysterious note didn't end very well.
Trust me, I trust this person. If they wanted to screw us up, they could very easily have done it.
Well, we don't have any other leads immediately. It's either that or wander the town with that magic rod you've got there looking for the robot, or the automaton.
Ari pulls it out and starts waving it excitedly. Beep, beep.
Yes,
It's
that
not
one.
beeping, so I have to beep for it.
It does beep, but it's a very slow beep. Not quite as fast as it was when you were apparently close to one of the smaller half golems that it's designed to detect. But it's still the top still spins rapidly and occasionally just does a little beep, beep.
Ari will try to beep in time with it.
Okay, so you see Ari holding this copper rod that the upper portion of it, the cap of it, is rotating, making an occasional beeping chime that she is trying to mimic as well when it goes off. She seems very focused at trying to make this work.
Well, after that, Bart's gonna probably go upstairs and check on Sonosha.
Okay. So, Barth, going upstairs. You go to the room where Sonosha's been laying down after her recovery from the arena, what happened, losing her arm, being burned and unconscious, almost dying from a 3-story fall into flaming rubble collapsing upon her. as you go in there, the larger half-orc woman that you asked to kind of watch over her, looks like she's trying to like pour some water very slowly into Zenosha's mouth. Zenosha's still kind of laying in bed. She's propped up slightly so that she can have the water kind of fed to her, but outside of that, she's still just laying there, and I want you to make a perception check.
$17.
All right, so you notice Sunosha's a bit paler than she was before. The half-orc woman looks over at you. Barth, she's not awakened. She seems to have some sort of fever.
That's not good. Is there anything that it's not? Is there anything that could be done?
If you know a good healer or someone who is more trained in this, I would have them take a look at her condition. She's still with us, but I do not know what is going on with her.
Right. I will. I'll see what I can do. I think I may know a few people. Someone. And, Betty's gonna head back downstairs.
Okay. So as you go back downstairs, still watching Ari play with her little golem detector. What is everybody doing?
I am being super distracted by my house, so I think I want to dip. I apologize very much. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man.
I'll see y'all next time.
Eric grabs Boggle. Boggle tends to Snow.
Tunes to
Bam.
what?
You tend to Snow. Wow.
Awesome. Cool.
He tries to feed her raw fish from the heart.
No, he knows how to cook, man. Come on. He'll cook her some. Give her good berries, too.
There you
go.
go.
Have fun. I'm sorry.
That's what I meant. Life happens.
Bye, Rick.
Remember, it's going to be recorded, so.
Awesome.
All right. So Boggle goes upstairs to go check on Sunosha as well. All right. Let's change that out here. Okay. I mean, y'all just recently, raided a villa.
Yeah, probably should try to get rumors from the people here, see what they've heard about. If they've heard any, weird stories about things going on lately. Like villas being raided. I mean, just for a random topic.
Okay, so checking with some of the locals here. Now, where are you going to check on some of these rumors? Are you going to talk to random people in your own tavern? Are you going to go out about in the streets? Are you going to talk to random city guard? Or, you can talk to specific NPCs? Go to specific locales? What do you do? How do you go about investigating rumors or potential rumors about villas and other clandestine activities that may or may not have occurred recently?
Should we split the party?
The others doing what?
Well, I mean, there's different groups of people we could ask. Like, Aries not going to be the one who goes talk with the guard, but
I don't think any of us really want to talk to the guard.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think we are.
'Cause I mean, Aries an assassin. Barth's rather not, and a human. Yeah.
Not to,
I'm Reason Assassin. Aries is a paladin of justice.
well, I guess also the fact that you recently were at a illegal underground fighting arena that had a demon summoned, and then not too long after that, may have witnessed many people getting murdered in a noble's villa.
Listen. Details.
I'm innocent of all charges. But do we want to split up and send everybody to a different tasking?
I don't know, I guess Barth could ask around at the docks, see what's going on down there. If anyone's hurt, if any of the, well, maybe not that, maybe not, I don't know, people gossip.
You can ask about these weird boats that are down there.
What weird boats?
Elodia, tell them.
Yes, I'm gonna tell him about those 3 ships that I saw.
Does Barth recognize those boats?
From what she described with that, make a history check.
12.
Yeah. From what she describes with that, you believe that she is correct that those are most likely Goggelheim ships, or at least from Goggelheim. But those ships in particular, like, without being able to, see the banners, or at least the ships themselves, because you would know a little bit more of the purpose of the ships, just by, looking at the vessels, the type things that most people wouldn't be able to pick up on. You're just knowing, where they potentially came from, but you don't know any more about their purpose until you actually kind of lay eyes on them. Or at least, talk to the crew and stuff on top of that. But you get more information by actually looking at the vessels, like, oh, that's a warship, or, oh, that's just a merchant vessel, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so that might be something that he would definitely that we would want to look into.
All right.
Okay, I've got a plan.
Oh God, this is where the TPK happens.
I'm a little hurt. That might be accurate, but I'm still a little hurt.
It's hurtful, but not untrue.
So what is this plan?
All right, so Elodie and Barth will go down to the docks. and try to hear any rumors as well as get a better look at those ships. Imri and Cindy will go out into the street and talk with the church as well as the just random passerbys, maybe a guard. Ari will stay here and talk with the people here and start working on training her dear sweet page boy. And then one of the two groups should take the detector and look around, see if they can find anything. And if you find something, just knock off whatever you're doing, come get the others, and we'll investigate. Sound like a plan?
All right, so 3 different areas you're pursuing. Which one's getting the detector?
Well, not Ari, because she's not really going anywhere.
I'll take it.
Any complaints with the plan?
I was having a conversation with someone. I'm sorry. What are we?
So we're sending 2 people to go to the temple, as well as talk to people on the streets, which would include Cindy and Imri. 2 people are going down to the docks to inquire with the dock workers if they've heard anything, as well as investigate those 3 Guggenheim ships. And Ari will stay behind here to check with the people who come in and out. And start training her new assistant.
Which temple? The Wonderbringer?
Yep.
And we're looking for the android, right?
Well, right now it's more rumors or anything that might have gone on the night previous. But if you happen to find him, abort the information gathering, go get the others, and then we'll press that.
That sounds good to me.
All right, so okay, let's see here. And the ones going into Wonderbringer, do they have the detector?
Yes, they would have it.
Okay. All right, so I guess let's start off with that group there. So that'd be Imri and Cindy. So, heading off back to the Temple of the Wonderbringer, the streets are bustling with activity. Nothing unusual, though. People getting the early start of their day, getting their errands out the way. It's a pretty nice day out. Sun shining down, the smells of various, pastries from the various shops kind of fill the air. Very enticing armory. Cindy does not know the pleasures of such things, but he just never really partaken in those, even though he can still eat. But you do make your way to the large Temple of the Wonderbringer, this chapel slash almost not laboratory, but almost like a worksman's structure. Going through the main doors to the main Hall of Wonders that you saw before with the various podiums and the various inventions and other oddities that they've created. Going through, you can hear the sounds of, sounds like a ceremonial mass maybe going on. What do you two do?
We're asking around right now for information to see if anyone's heard of anything, right?
Yes. So you go looking for one of the acolytes or one of the priests or priestesses.
I think that might be a good idea at first, yeah.
Okay.
But they're having a big ceremony now, right?
Yeah, Imri would wait until that's starting to die down.
Okay. So the ceremony lasts about another 30 minutes or so. Then these various clockwork chimes start going off as the ceremonies seem to have ended. You hear some of the clergy talking about telling everybody to kind of, go in peace and, carry the word of the Wonder Bringer and all that you do. And there's various people, not a large crowd, but a handful of people kind of shuffle out through the halls. Some of them, various gnomes, some halflings, some dwarves. You even see a Goliath there as well. Various mix of people kind of exiting out.
I'll be holding the rod, I guess.
Okay. Do you have it activated?
Yeah. Just in case.
Okay. So it's much like it was doing to Aerie back at the Dragon's Flower Tavern. It's just slowly, the cap of it slowly rotating, giving the occasional kind of dull beep, beep, as you're just holding it. And people walking by, they just see you holding this copper rod. And they give you kind of a look, because you are a half golem, and you just have this weird copper rod in your hand. They pass by you and just continue walking out. Eventually, one of the clergy comes out, and this clergyman is an elf. Seems to be kind of on the younger side for an elf. It's got, green eyes, blonde hair, fair, rosy tinted skin. He's wearing just these white robes, simple white robes with. It has a kind of a triangular padded vest on top of it, which is kind of a very light gray that has a little symbol of the Wonder Bringer stitched onto the center of it. As he's just gently closing the doors, and he sees you as a kind of does a double take, like, good morning. Welcome to the Temple of the Wonderbringer. Our next service will not begin for another few hours, but you're more than welcome to wait in the chapel for the service.
Greetings.
Greetings.
We have come to hear about any rumors you've heard within the past day.
And he just kind of scratches his head a bit. Well, other than the guild still attacking each other's in the streets. I have not heard much myself. We've just gotten finished with the morning mass, but was there something you were looking more particular with information? I mean, I have not heard of anything unusual occurring.
Well, have you or heard of anything happening with a villa? We heard some rumors about it and got worried. It sounded strange and kind of frightening.
No, I have not heard of anything about a villa. What news have you heard? And what villa?
Oh god, what was the name of that villa?
Damros.
We heard that Damrose Villa had a lot of guards over at it during the night. Like, not the normal amount, more like drakes flying through the sky and panic everywhere.
Those in flesh they fear.
Huh. Wow. Certainly have not heard of any happenings with that, but I hope everything is okay. That's there's a lot of lords and nobility in that area. I wonder what would have happened there to cause such a commotion. And he just kind of, just thinks like, well, thank you for telling me of this. This is most sad that something would happen like that, but hopefully all will be well, and whatever happened, the guards will make sure that justice is carried out as needed. Is there anything else I can help you with?
How is Epi?
He's been sad since his laboratory equipment and other toys have been removed from the attic, but I think he's starting to understand why what he did was wrong. But he will need some time before he recovers, I suspect. In the meanwhile, it's kind of back to basics in terms of his training to reinstill the fundamentals and ideologies of the Wonderbringer. That while you can create,
Can
it is
Epi
not.
receive gifts?
I would have to clear that due to recent circumstances. But we can hold the gifts for him until he can receive those.
It was part of my training. I am new, but I understand about those that are fragile. I would request you to speak to those that are in charge of Epi.
Okay. Sure. Just one moment. And he kind of goes off and goes through some of the halls, probably to tabernacles and other areas where the local clergy would stay, their private quarters. After a few minutes, he comes back with the same half copper dragon, Vera, Vera Dallin, but just Vera for short. Comes walking down the halls and sees Emery and Cindy standing there, and he just kind of gestures over towards them, towards you two. Yes, these two requested to speak with you, mistress. They wanted to talk to you about Epi and the circumstances and shh, shh, shh. That's enough, Jonah. Let me hear what they have to say. So, have you found the creation yet? Do you bring good news?
We are still searching.
He'll hold up the rod that is still beeping occasionally.
I see. Well, the sooner that you can take care of that, the safer the city will be. So if you're not here to tell me of your successful dealings with that, why have you come here?
We seek rumors from the previous.
Actually, it does have to do with that. Is the other person here? Yeah.
The one that the original clergy, the elf?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still here. He's just being quiet. Jonah.
Well, we were exploring last night, and the rod was beeping near Damros when all of the guards were appearing there. And so we are looking for rumors that have to do with that night, so that maybe we can find a good lead. That's why we came here, since, I'd at least like to think that people that hear weird things about golems and everything might come over here and tell the stuff.
And Vera will speak up. Do you suspect that Epi's creation has harmed some people at the Damros Villa? That's why the City Watch were there?
I don't exactly know about that, but we did see a lot of guards there. There was a few broken windows, and there might have been fighting inside? I don't really know. Wasn't really able to get close.
The area in question shows troubling signs, and the rod shows he was nearby. This is all.
But you did not find Epi's creation at the villa. You did not see this creation being hauled off by the guards, or heard anything else about them finding it there?
I do.
Cindy will turn and look towards Amory.
I myself as a player didn't catch that. My cat bit my foot.
She's asking if the guards found the creation there, evidence of the creation being there, or if they found the body, or if you heard anything to that effect.
We didn't really get to talk to anyone. They just kind of waved us off.
And, well, have you talked to the guards about the creation itself? Even showed them that you detected the presence of this creature there? They would surely help you find and deal with it.
I didn't think it'd be a good idea since we got it from you guys. And I don't really think they take too kindly to something from here causing issues like that. Especially with how they generally react to things.
The creation is secret, as you have asked.
Well, as much as I hate to admit certain flaws in this city, they don't hold half golems in the same regards as they do some of the other citizenry. While they're not looked down upon as much as humans are looked down upon, they don't share the same amounts of rights as some of the other citizenry. They're not looked upon as persons, but rather as creations, for better or for worse. But if it means stopping more lives from being lost, we may have to come forward with this. We cannot have that rogue creation taking any more lives. Please, do what you can in haste to find this creature and deal with it as we've discussed. It clearly has no value of any life, and it is a danger to not only itself but to everyone around it.
We will do what we can, but I worry for Epi.
Epi will be fine. He's been through more than you know. He was brought here... Well, let's just say he was not quite as peaceful when he was originally brought here from Gugelham. He has made many strives to becoming a more functioning member of society, but he still has a long ways to go. He hasn't fully grasped why just because you can create something doesn't mean that you should create something.
Can Epi receive gifts?
What kind of gift are we talking about? I prefer him not to have any tools and things of that nature, at least not for a little while. He needs to understand more of why what he did was wrong.
I have awakened less than a year ago, and underwent training with my friends. I wish to give him something that was given to me as part of my training.
And what is this item that you wish to give him?
A pet.
May I see this pet?
I do not have.
I do not have it yet. I wish to ask first.
Once his creation has been dealt with, yes, you can give him this pet, provided that I see it first to make sure it does not be a danger to Epi or the temple or any of the folk within.
Of course. We will go continue our search. Is that correct, Amory?
Yeah, sounds good to me. We've still got an entire day to look. Should be able to find him.
Okay. And with that, she gives you the little blessing, the may the Wonder Bringer inspire and guide you. Jonah, I believe you have duties to attend to. If you excuse me, I have my own duties I need to attend to. Feel free to return at any time. Good day to you. And she respectfully kind of bows and goes back to what she was doing prior before Jonah requested her presence.
Shall we go walk the streets?
Yeah, let's see if we can hear of any rumors. Probably not mention that we were near there or that place. And yeah. Let's see how this goes.
Fragile ones of your size enjoy pastries. Would you like me to buy you a pastry?
I mean, pies were the fast food of these times, so...
She's gonna stare at him for a moment, and then just nod.
Come, let us find something delicious.
Okay, so you two exit the temple, looking for pastries. With that, we'll move along here to Ari.
Well, Area's out, since we don't have any bards, she's out there performing. You know, occasionally coming out, talk to people, see if they've heard anything fun and interesting lately.
Okay.
Taking out 3 gold coins and putting them in front of Hal, clapping her hands excitedly. It's your first day's pay!
Does she go to where the note requests her presence?
That said tomorrow. And it arrived today. Was that a misunderstanding on my part?
Could have been.
You know what? Just to be safe, Ari will go there.
Okay. Do you take Hal with you?
No, he gets to stay and practice. Keep being safe while I'm gone. I believe in you.
Okay. So, about high sun, you head down to the Sanguine River graveyard. It's where it told you to meet by the statue of the Weeping Angel, which is a well-known landmark in the city's cemetery. You know, it's a tall marble sculpture of a 10-foot tall angelic woman, just kind of hands covering her eyes, kneeling down, just kind of crying over the graves. It sits upon concentric steps, and it faces westward toward the skylines of Reldon. At the foot of this statue stands a female dwarf with olive skin, clad in kind of a golden plate armor.
The Aries gonna come up. Oh, hi! Long time no see. How you doing? How are the kids? And Aries gonna look around to make sure she is not currently sitting in some archers.
Make a insight check.
$13.
I mean, there's a lot of spots archers could be hiding, but in terms by the statue, I mean, she seems to be the only one at the statue.
Well, this woman has a lot more material that she could use to get Aries thrown in prison, so I'm gonna try. How you doing? So, what did you want to know?
Let's say word has traveled fast about the Damros Villa bloodbath. Now, it travels so fast that the guard has arrested Starsong. I would assume that they have him in the Bastille for questioning. Now, I know, through my little birds, that you are hanging around that villa quite intensely the day that this bloodbath had occurred. I want to know what you know about what happened there. Because whatever happened there, if the guards were to uncover evidence of our organization, it could leave our network in a very unflattering light, to say the least. And it could also cripple us in some of our very expensive endeavors and already hurt our questionable reputation. So please, do not leave out any detail.
Well, maybe our network shouldn't have been working for them inside. If we had a network. Because from what I heard, there's a bunch of Veiled Society people who broke in and then, started investigating a certain stone, gem of the Ormacalculus or Ornicle? I don't remember the exact word. And
The Ormacalculus?
that's it. There we go.
And you're kind of distracted from it by some kids frolicking through the cemetery grounds. There's occasional pedestrians kind of walking past the statue to other areas. There's even little picnickers in some of the park areas that are here. This place is kept up very nice.
Wait, hold on. Kids?
Yeah.
Frolicking through the cemetery!
There's park areas outside the cemetery. It's
Okay. I was about to
What?
say
You
cast
never
to my
frolicked
sense.
through a cemetery in your youth?
No!
Man, what the fuck is wrong
I'm
with you?
sorry!
yeah. Where?
I hear that, and I think Divine Sense, these are undead once they paladin duties.
I mean, that's like not having Legos as a kid. Not frolicking through cemeteries. God, it's things every child should do.
For shame.
Yes, and we're judging. We're
Worship.
judging hard.
Very
But-
hard.
Ari will share pretty much everything she knows. You know, being told through this is a rumor she's heard. She definitely does what was going on there. She was back home at her end.
Of course you are. Now, from what it sounds like, somebody tried to go into business for themselves during what was originally planned with the Namaroses. Now, I was not involved in matters concerning the Damaroses or their damned villa, but I am worried about what the Watch may uncover in some of our other operations and activities, which is why I asked you to meet here. So,
Your sharpshooter could take me out. All right, make it quick.
no. So, as promised, and she hands you a little pouch with some coins that clearly jingle from it. This is just for meeting me here today. Let's just say cost of your time. Everything has its price. And that is more precisely what I want to talk to you about. While the Watch and their insufferable detectives question members of our organization and interrogate them, I do not want to be one of those being interrogated. I do not want to be arrested by them. I wish to avoid such encounters. So, here's the proposition. If you were to help me lie low for a 10-day or two, I will pay you 40 platinum. Half paid if we can make an accord, and the other half at the end of my stay once things have calmed down. I understand that you've acquired a tavern, and that you've recently been staffed with some newcomers to help provision it during your early business days. This is something I could use as cover while I lay low. Do you think that this would be a fair accommodation and a fair price?
I mean, you could have just said, hey, you know, we work for the same big guy in the sky, and I would have said, sure, but all right, this works for me. I'll take.
I find that promises of money and reward tend to keep more people honest in their dealings. Something to work toward, something to look forward to.
Well, I will get you worked into the staff, and if anybody has, you know, any complaint, you're my second cousin twice removed.
You will find that you will have a new dwarven aide working there. And she just kind of air quotes, male dwarf named Jorn Ashbeard. He'll be working there for the next 10 day or two. And as promised, she takes out another pouch of coin and hands it to you. There'll be another like it at the end of Joran's stay at your inn. Make sure nobody asks too many questions while Joran is there. We don't need anybody knowing that you're harboring anybody, especially anybody suspected of connections with the Mouths of Madness. Do this, and, well, you'll make a very prominent name for yourself within certain organizations. I promise you that.
Well, I'm just glad to help.
And that is very wise. You wouldn't want to cross the doom gazers. And she just flashes you kind of a wicked smile and good day to you. And she starts to slowly walk around the statue, raising her right hand just kind of like parallel to the ground from her shoulder, just kind of like bending the elbow at like an L for about 3 seconds or so before waving it awkwardly down and just leaving the Sangreen River Cemetery.
She's just like Big Sis, but nicer.
She didn't slap you or anything.
I didn't get fire-bolted once. Uh-oh, I left the end unprotected. And Harry's gonna rush back to the end.
Okay. Okay, while you're going back there, let's go over to Elodia and Barth, who are down by the docks, investigating some of those ships.
Yes.
All right, so the docks are bustling with quite a bit of activity at this time of day. A lot of laborers hard at work. The merchants, kind of like the vendor stalls, they're open for business, trying to sell various catches and make deals with the local folk and other merchants, as well as trying to make bigger deals for places of business. Like, hey, I have the best, freshest seafood around, and for the local folk, I have various vegetables as well as seafood. Things to take care of your whole family, and things of that nature. Do you stop at any of the vendors, or do you go straight to the ships?
Yeah, he's gonna stop around the vendors, chat them up, see if anything has been happening, maybe buy a few product to get to keep them talking.
Okay. So you, what about you, Elodia? Do you just kind of shadow Barth, or do you talk to people yourself? You'll shadow him. Okay. So you come by this one vendor. It's a stubby little dwarf with a big black kind of greasy beard. Has a long robe going from shoulder to his ankles. Got this wide leather, like this thick, wide leather belt with kind of a copper belt buckle going there, holding it in place. And with his long sleeves there, he just, you can see he's got like little rings on his fingers. And he has this little kind of cylindrical cap on his head that does nothing to hide his balding head. But his beard also has like these kind of yellowish ties and copper colored decorations on it. It goes down about mid of chest. Good morning, sir. Would you like to buy some of the freshest seafood this side of the Iron Coast?
It is a good morning, indeed. Yes, I think I'll take a look at what you have.
And he points out he has various fish laid in these little boxes of ice. These little wooden boxes. He's got like bits of ice, and you see little nets of still moving like crab and crayfish, various other sea life just kind of still moving about. There's little barrels of swimming fish. And so, what does your palate desire? We have little bits of food that are on the salty or maybe the tart side. Maybe you're looking for something that you can add your own spices and flavors to if you're the culinary of sorts, that you like to create these grand meals for a king. Or maybe you're just looking for something to feed your family. Or maybe your servants.
What's good today? How's the catch been? How's the catch been?
Well, this time of year, the catch has actually been quite generous. As you can see here, the fish are nice and plump. The crayfish are plentiful in good size. The haven't been able to catch some of the fancier fish there. Some of the bluetail sharks and other larger beasts that live in these waters, but those also tend to be more on favored by dukes and other high nobility. If you're inquiring about those, I mean, I could get you a deal on such a thing. Were you looking for maybe shark steak for dinner?
No, it is just as well. This would probably be too rich for my blood anyway. I'll take a dozen of your. I'll take a pound of your finest, your freshest fish.
Okay, so he would you like that already filleted or still whole?
Still whole would be best.
Okay, so he gets some of the fish that are from the barrel, and he kind of holds them up, just like kind of shows it to you, like, is this to your liking? And the fish, of course, is still moving around a bit, and once he finds one that you agree with, he takes it and starts taking a little bit of ice with it, packing it, and then wrapping it up carefully for you. That would be 2 silver.
All right. Here you go, and he pays him the coin. I heard there was a bit of a commotion. What district was the manor in?
That was in, I believe it was in Chargers Borough. Let me just double check that real quick. Why is this not going to my handouts? And yeah, it was in Chargers Borough.
I heard there was quite a bit of a commotion up in Chargers Barrow last night. You wouldn't have that now, would you?
Well, I've heard some talk. Why are you so interested in what happened in Chargers Borough?
Well, it's always good to keep up on the latest happenings. You always want to know. It's always good to know the mood of the city you're living in, isn't it? Is it not?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
19.
Well, that's fair enough. And you being a good customer and all. Well, I've heard some talk. People say that City Watch were called in during the night. And some people said they saw bodies being taken away in those those wagons that the City Watch use. Nobody knows who the bodies were. They're all wrapped up and covered. But people say there was quite a number of them. Over a dozen.
Ah, that is grim news. It's dangerous times we be living in, it would seem.
Yeah, if the giants don't kill us outside our city walls, the guild sure as hell make sure they kill us inside of them.
Indeed. Well, you make sure you stay safe now. Have a good.
Thank you, and you the same.
Alright, and then we'll probably go around to a couple other stalls, do the same thing, see if we can't dig up anything else.
Alright. Alright, so going to another stall. This one in particular has a little halfling working the stall. She's got these braided, like multiple braids, almost like dreadlocks, light brown hair going just right above her shoulder. Kind of a light tan complexion overall, like somebody who's, out in the sun for a bit, but not too deep of a tan. She's got brown eyes, very simple earthen color clothing, kind of like dark brown with little bits of evergreen color patches here and there, like some of the shirt and shoulder pieces. Appears to be she's wearing some sort of dress with this, and her stall's got a little bit mixed of some smaller, like seafood, like shrimp and the crayfish and smaller fish, but snails and things like that too, as well as various fruits kind of alongside of it. A little bit of cabbage and carrot. Good morning to you. How can I help you? Would you like to buy some vegetables? Or maybe some fresh fruits? Or maybe some seafood to tempt your palates?
It is a good morning indeed. I believe I was looking for some nice fresh fruit and vegetables. It would be.
Well, you're in luck. We just got this batch of produce in yesterday, and you'll see that they're quite fresh. Our fruits as well are very fresh. Take a look, see what tempts your eyes and palates.
He's gonna browse over the fruits and vegetables, and while he's doing that, he's gonna casually bring up. I heard there were a couple ships in from Gugelheim. You know anything? Do you hear anything about that?
Well, let me see this here. There's 3 of them that came into port not too long ago. Been here about better part of a month.
Okay. Out of character. What do I know about Gugelheim? What would I know about Gugelheim?
So Gugelheim is one of the main cities that the Gnomish Empire operates from. It's one of the few that are open to outsiders, to non-gnomes. So anybody who does a lot of trading on the surface with them, literally on the surface, would go to Gugelheim to do so. There's rumored that they do trades and deals underneath the surface of the world through what they call underways, but that's something that's been rumored, like, between the gnomes and the dwarven kingdoms of old that used to exist. But nobody's been able to really kind of pinpoint that it's been a rumor. But people have found existence of some of these tunnels that are no longer in use and have been damaged or collapsed.
3 ships in from Googleham. Should be a prosperous deal for whoever makes it.
Yeah, it's between you and me, they don't seem to be merchant ships. Not sure why they're in port, to be honest with you. Most of the crewmen keep to themselves on the ship. Occasionally, some of them make their way off into the city, but other than that, they've just been staying in port.
That does sound odd. They wouldn't be... Googleham wouldn't send warships. That doesn't make sense at all. Relton has fairly good relations with Googleham, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, once everybody got over that grand joke the king has done, pulling the wool over everyone's eyes, practically robbing the other kingdoms blind, yeah, the amends have been made, though I don't know, the stories of those clockwork armies that they built, oh, give me the heebie-jeebies. But thank goodness they're no longer here.
Yeah, it would be... Yeah, that's... Well, you gotta... Yeah, that would not be... Yeah, it's good that that's not an issue anyway. Well, I think I'll have some of these. And he picks up a few cabbages and carrots.
Okay. All right. So you grab a few cabbages, a couple carrots. She's like, all right, well, if that's all you'll be, anything I can entice you with today, that'll be, and she kind of looks up, that'll be 5 fangs, copper.
All right. And then he passes over the coin.
Much obliged. Thank you for your kind patronage. Please come back if you need any other fresh fruits and vegetables or any other seafoods. And she just kind of waves as you start to leave this stall.
Well,
Starts talking.
Probably should go take a look at these ships for himself.
All right. So, let's see. So, as you get closer to the ships, getting more toward the docks, it's bustling and chaotic during this part of the day. Let's see. As you approach the vessels, you see, like, the city guard just kind of standing about watching, not just you, but everybody's kind of moving about, making sure there's no shenanigans going on in the docks. Nobody's picking any fights. Nobody's, trying to sneak aboard ships or steal anything. Just trying to keep as much order as possible to the ships that are anchored here in Hunter's Landing. So, looking at the ships, there's a flagship and 2 galleons that are docked here. looking at the ships, you can read the names of them on the side. The two galleons are named the Dagger and the Bulwark. The flagship has in it, it's called the Narwhal.
So do these like ships? Do they like look like military vessels or?
The Dagger and the Bulwark look. I mean, they have defenses on them. Obviously, like if pirates try to attack them, they can defend themselves. They don't look like they are designed solely for military purposes. Like they're not warships, but they do have, many cannon ports on these ships. From what you can tell in these seem to be kind of like cargo ships to a point. They're built to hold large bits of cargo, so you're not sure if they're maybe, part of a merchant crew or something else, but they're made for transport.
Anything else? Anything else I can tell from just by looking at the ships, observing them, watching the crew?
The let's see, make a perception check.
22.
So the crew that you do see working aboard these vessels are, for the most part, fairly good-looking elves, light elves. Just working aboard the ships. They're like looks like they're maintaining some of the sails, moving about on the decks of the ship and outside the ships themselves on the docks. Looks like they're kind of working on some of the ships, like inspecting them.
Odd for elves to be working on a gnome ship. Well, if that's about all we can seem to gather, I should probably head back. If we can't find anything else out.
Well, yeah, right now you're just kind of looking at the exterior of the ship. So they're not built for war. They're cargo ships, so you're not really sure if they're merchant ships or just transporting goods. But and the crewmen all seem to be, fairly good shape, good looking light elves.
Alright, that sounds about good. I guess we should head back unless there's anything Elodio wants to.
Lodia?
No, we could go back.
All right. So as you head back here, let's just take a quick, like 5-10 minute break here, just so we can get refreshed, use facilities, whatnot, and be back and continue the adventure in about 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Sounds good to me.
All right. I am back. Waiting for everybody else to get done with their break.
I'm still here.
Okay. Awesome. So, again, all this is being recorded, which will be on the YouTubes and Twitches and Mixers later, once we end the session. So, not going crazy with the stream recordings of it. Hope I can just get that overlay to work a little better. So, but so far so good. I had to do some minor adjustments when Boggle left, but that's okay. So,
Yeah, hopefully his housing stuff gets fixed up. He seems to have had a lot of issues with it lately.
yeah, I'm not sure all the details. He hasn't told me like everything about it, but I do know about the backyard wall issue, but I don't know everything else that's going with it. So I'm not sure if he's trying to sell the house or what's going on with it. So, but hopefully everything gets straightened out for him.
A few are witnesses, though, to my definitely legal dealing.
Definitely legal.
Totally
100%
not illegal.
Legal. Totally. 100%. Completely above board.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you agree.
Yeah. Again, we're just during a little break here, a little intermission for our players to get a little bit of refreshment, restroom breaks, take their little pets outside that need to go outside, stuff like that. And yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Blue Wizard. So, but yeah, I'm curious as going forth with the testing for Pathfinder 2nd Edition too. I definitely want to run some things with it, test some of the finer points of it, but everything is just really, really good in that system. It's amazing all the power they give to the players with that, and it's a good thing. Welcome back. Let's see. I think Mordecai is still AFK?
Nope, he's back.
He's back? Okay.
I just said I was
Who's back?
back, and you answered me.
Okay, now I'm trying to think who's not Elodia.
I'm back.
Okay. So I think that's everybody.
She's just being mute as usual.
Yeah, I was like, I know
Yes.
there's somebody. Wow. Did you just call him an ass?
Yes. Ass.
I have
Wow.
one. It's huge.
Got that badonkadonk going. All right. So everybody's going back. So let's continue on. So everybody goes back to the Dragon's Flower Tavern, and as you meet up in the tavern, it's still moderately busy inside. There's people coming in just checking it out, having a good meal there. There's a minstrel trying to play in there, trying to kind of work up little tips and stuff and create music as he practices. But for the most part, it's still cozy. Could do a little better business, but it's not bad considering, it's first, days from opening, from it being open. Now, as you enter in here, Barth with his groceries, with his wrapped up fish and vegetables. So you're in the main floor of the tavern. What do you all do?
Area is up on stage, singing and performing her various sword dances.
So
Demanding
that is how
pays
people
attention.
died. Okay.
No, see, people are gonna die when it's his turn.
Fair enough. Let's see.
At this point, you take the great axe and you chuck it right into the audience.
Start throwing weaponry into the crowd. That's the best way to get repeat business, I'll tell you. So, all right. Now, has Cindy and Emery, well, really, has everybody discussed their findings with everybody? And what does Ari discuss with everybody? Since hers is quite
Barth
different.
would discuss all of his findings about the ships and the suspicious activity with them.
Yeah, very unusual activity. They've been in port for a long time. And they're cargo ships, essentially. And there's a bunch of light elves on them.
And they've been here for like a month.
Yeah. And what about Cindy and Emery?
Well, weren't we going to walk the streets and see if we could find rumors after that?
All right, so you just walk around to random people on the streets, or do you go to a place specific?
What do you think, Emery?
Well, you're going to get pastries.
Yeah. I think if we're getting pastries, we'll just ask random people. Maybe some nobles if we see anyone that looks fancy.
And
Sure.
they'll be like, and then they'll be like, "Ooh, why is this worm talking to me?"
And then I assassinate them in their sleep the next night.
You mean you don't just stab them in the stomach with a dagger of venom?
And then call them a pedophile?
Yeah. I mean, that's how Emery says hello.
Listen, it's just part of the morning routine, alright? Wake up in the morning, eat a pastry, drink some ale, stab a guard. Everyone has something like that they do. Right? No?
Sure, let's go with that.
You know what? At least he's emo.
All right, so you're traveling down the streets, looking for a good pastry shop. You eventually find a little quaint shop, and it's called the King's Cakes. And it's got this, like, cartoonish, very jovial, but also very corpulent king. Just like a generic human king with, like, a big, bushy beard. Just sitting there stuffing his face with pastries. Not really meant to represent any specific real lineage. It's just kind of a little joke of a sign. But the smells the pastry smells that come from the shop, from the ovens, it's anything but a joke. It's very pleasant. It's the kind of thing that almost just picks your nose up and just pulls you towards the shop.
I don't breathe, right?
No, but Emery, who does breathe, smells all this.
Oh god, there are so many comments that she wants to make, and none of them are good.
This has never stopped you before.
So, sniffing the air, she looks around, and under her breath, she mutters a few things. I'm thinking about how to word it. Oh god. This is how pretty girls smell. And, one sec, my cat just bit my foot. What do you want, cat? Oh, he has a Nerf dart again.
It's one way of finding those lost Nerf darts.
He plays fetch.
Apparently.
So, I'm real scan around. A little bit of drool dripping from her mouth as she seems somewhat excited. The cloak on her back moving a bit as her tail wags.
I turn and look and see the bit of drool.
You are leaking. Do you require repair?
Oh god! I hate my eyes. Oh god, I'm a degenerate. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. I compose myself.
This would be even more fun if it was in character. I'm curious to see how Emery responds to that question.
I'm so sad I'm not playing a bard. Oh my god. You're leaking. Are you okay? No, I'm just horny. Anyways, Emery's gonna look over at him and go, no, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. It smells great. Let's go order some food. Yeah.
Cindy looks around and notices the pastry shop.
Ah, I see. Let us go see what they have.
Cindy starts walking in.
Emery will follow behind him.
So, entering in, the smells just get even better. You see that it looks like the baker, which is this rotund dwarven woman with kind of a strawberry blonde hair. Kind of has a little the white chef cap on, covering most of it, keeping the hair from falling into the goods that she's making. Very clean-ish kind of smock on. The smears that are on it are like bits of flour or frosting from some of the pastries that she's very diligently making. And it looks like she just put out a batch of freshly baked and decorated cupcakes. About half a dozen or so she's just finishing putting in a box and handing to this very lithe Azamar girl with kind of a paler skin, but she has the like ghost white hair, and her eyes are just like crystal blue. She wears kind of a very like a little fancy dress, and she smiles at the little dwarf and looks like she's giving the dwarven woman several coins, and is taking the box of freshly baked cupcakes.
Cindy is staring at the Azamar with great interest, though does not approach her.
Would Imri know that the group that Cindy said that he was a part of, that Mordecai is a part of, is a bunch of Azamar? And that they're widely worshipped by them?
I mean, they have mentioned some things about them, but he hasn't gone into, like, great depths. I don't believe Mordecai's invited Imri to be part of the chapter. It was just Aetherius that he invited.
No.
So
Yeah, I don't think he'd invite Imri after the day that she slit his throat in Mortal Kombat at the pit fighting ring.
No, just not. It's not enough time had passed.
yeah.
Doing things with you.
So she would know, like, that there is a group that works with them, but she doesn't know too much more in depth with that. And this is stuff that the other group would have mentioned, especially with Mordecai trying to invite them to fight the good fight against all the minions of hell and so forth. But the Azamar woman is taking the box of pastries and she is leaving the shop. Pardon me.
Oh, hi, sorry, the scent of the pastries is just intoxicating.
Yes, they do smell quite delectable, don't they? This is a very nice shop for such things. You've chosen wisely. Anyway, good day to you. And she just kind of goes by the door, opens the door, and...
Good evening. Have a good day, too.
Oh, the talks. Yes, good day to you, too.
Don't worry, I reacted the same way.
Well, yes. She looks kind of confused why this little girl and this big giant automaton are in a pastry shop, but she is... It is a question for another day. As she exits the shop with due haste.
No, like I said, I do still have the rod on me. No.
Is he like waving it over people like he meets in the street, just like beep? And he's just holding it in front of him, like wait for it to beep, and then moves on to the next person.
Kind of.
The beeping just makes me feel like he's an IED waiting to explode. People
be.
just walking by like, what the fuck? So the Asmar lady was the person buying stuff from the pastry shop, right?
Yes.
Imri is going to stare at her, somewhat enamored, as she runs off, before shaking her head and going, no, need to focus on getting food. Right type of food, not that type of food. Okay, I'm just gonna go in now. And she's going to walk through...
Cindy approaches the counter.
Alright, and the dwarven woman just smiles at you and... good morning to you. What can I get for you today? She's not sure how to address you. Like, are you a sir? Are you a madam? She does not know.
I am Cindy. We require delicious pastries.
Well, delicious pastries I have. I'm Rosalie, the proprietor of the King's Cakes. And what kind of pastries were you looking for? We have various sweet rolls, little cupcakes. We have some deep fried pastries, and they look like they're basically little fried rings, aka donuts. We even have various sweet breads. Just if you need a specific, maybe a cake or a specialty pie. Pies are quite popular. What were you looking for?
There are so many.
Variety is the spice of life, and I can make just about any pastry that your palate salivates for. Do you even have a palate? She's just kind of like the various construct, like nature, is like confusing her.
Cindy looks down and pats Amory's head.
What is it that you desire?
So, miss, what do you... What do you recommend? Yeah. Food. The lady can also notice that, the back of their cloak is waving back and forth as if they have a tail wagging.
Well, let's see. Tell me, what is your favorite fruit?
Questions I never thought that would be asked while role-playing as this character. I'm going to go look up a list of fruits. One moment, everyone.
Ivory is a deep thought, like, so many sweet things that I like.
Blueberry. Actually, no, peaches.
I bet it is.
I've been holding in that joke.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Listen, she takes after her father, alright?
Peaches. Okay. So she kind of taps her finger. Well, perhaps maybe a good sweet Bakewell pudding, or maybe, and she has she brings out this little pastry. It's kind of resembles like a little Danish pastry. You know, the little sweet sugar pastries with the fruit filling kind of in the center. This might be something that you might like. Here, have a little taste. And she takes like a little sampler thing and gives it to you to try.
So, oh, did you say she hands a piece for her to try?
Yes.
So she takes it and takes a pretty good hearty bite out of it. Her body shaking in almost jubilation as she does. Yes, 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 more of this. Ah, that's good.
We will take all of those.
So you want like a dozen, half a dozen, and there's like a whole. She's got like a whole tray of them, like out.
Cindy will point to the tray.
We will take all of them.
There's like 2 dozen on the tray.
Ivory just stares like, What? I can't eat that much.
Sure. And she starts like taking a slightly larger box than the one that the Asmar had left with, and begins to fill them up with the pastries. Has this little, kind of like a little paper thing that she places them on very carefully. And she puts about a dozen in a box, and she makes the whole tray into 2 little boxes. Well, all right.
Does your establishment deliver?
Not normally. Might be able to find a squire boy or something to deliver these.
I wish to ask you a few questions, and I wish to pay for delivery to local orphanages.
Okay. I'm sure we can arrange for that. What questions did you have?
What was the name of the manor? Denos?
Damros Villa, the one that you totally didn't go into the other night.
We have heard things about Donner's Villa. Have you heard any rumors?
Nothing really specific. I heard there was some commotion during the night up in Chargers Barrow, but that's all I know. The city watch was called out in force due to something that happened. Was it at the Damros Villa?
This is what we have heard. Have you seen someone like me?
No. I would have remembered running into somebody like you.
Very well. What is the cost to deliver everything to the orphanages? He pulls out a bag and starts rooting through a very...
He starts rooting through a very large sack of coin.
Okay. She's kind of calculating. Let's see. We'll say how many orphanages would be 5 plus the cost of the pastries. She'll tally up. She'll say it'd be with the deliveries and the cost of all these pastries. Be 1 gold.
Madam, I said everything.
Yet that is the cost of everything.
He hands the 2 boxes to Imri, and then looks at the shelves.
Oh, he wants to buy all the pastries in the shop. So the 2 boxes were just for Imri, and you wanted to buy everything else that she has currently baked.
Yes.
Okay. That would be a different price then.
As a starter, he drops 50 gold on the counter to show he's serious.
And her eyes just kind of go wide. So, let's see. That's... Nope, go here.
For the small, fragile ones.
Hey, at least you didn't order custom pastries.
Yeah.
In the middle of lunch.
God.
In the middle of lunch. In the middle of the lunch rush. At least you didn't do that. Unlike some people.
That would definitely... The 50 gold would definitely cover like the price of all those pastries and the delivery. So she's just Yeah, that would do it. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll be closing up shop early today. Get these deliveries out.
Fuck, man, I wonder why.
Please tell them it is on behalf of the Dragon's Flower.
Wait, hold on. I don't think we want kids thinking that the...
Maybe don't lead them to the ghost bar.
They will tell those that run the orphanages, right?
Hey, look.
You know
Aries
what, for the
philosophy is the
advertising...
orphan coin is good there too.
Wait, no!
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
Bunch of orphan kids drinking at a bar.
okay. You know...
I mean, that.
For your name.
I
We are
mean,
here to do good.
that tavern used to be an orphanage at one time, but then again, it also was cooking the children from the orphanage to a hag. But that's neither here nor there. So I mean,
don't worry about it.
Oh my god.
yeah, that was one of its many, former owners and reasons why it closed and changed hands. This was discussed before the purchase.
So, Imri is just going to, nod her head to the nice dwarven lady. Holy
Yeah. And she kind of opens the door for you to, to take your 2 boxes, which kind of like you're holding them by your waist and they're going like just right above your eyes. So you're holding these big boxes of 24 pastries, like Danish pastries.
Would you like me to carry those, Amory?
I would prefer that. I like to be able to be mobile.
Cindy will take them and carry them in his arms carefully.
Okay.
I think we should go back to the tavern. Tell the others that orphans might be showing up at some point. Hopefully none of them get shot by another orphan with a bow and arrow.
Of course.
Or blown up in an explosion.
Cindy will head back.
All right. So, as the rest of you are discussing your findings with each other, Cindy and Amory come returning back to the Dragon's Flower Tavern. Cindy with 2 large closed boxes in hand.
Hi, everyone.
What you got there?
Pastries. Do we have, Does anyone have anything against orphan?
That's a weird way to bring it up, but sure.
Odd question, but not particularly.
Okay, because Cindy bought out a pastry shop and told them to deliver the pastries to the local orphanages and say it was from our tavern. She just has this look of utter confusion.
That's brilliant.
Wait, what?
If we're the tavern of the really nice people, we definitely weren't the ones who...
There are people here.
We definitely weren't the ones who, Hey, look at me, I'm juggling nuts!
Is the, orcish lady at the, or right behind the bars thing? I forgot what it's...
The 7
Cindy
foot tall
starts handing out.
half orc, yes.
Cindy starts handing out pastries to the party.
Can I have some alcohol? The usual. I have a headache.
Sure. Coming right up. And she takes a big
Thank you.
mug to hold a pint of ale, some of the stronger ales that you like, the little bit of spice in it to flavor it up. And she fills it up and hands you the mug of ale.
2 pastries are also set down in front of Imri.
And before the day is through, Imri will gain 3 pounds this day.
It's gonna be a long day for Imri.
Pat Imri's head.
Okay, so do you you fill in the group with what you found at the temple? What was discussed?
Yeah, I fill it. I'll fill everyone in.
So, what from your conversations with each other, well, it is odd that there are some ships at the dock. It does seem like your next course of action is to find this automaton that has murdered people, that has been in contact with the stone that you're trying to track down, that is somewhere loose in the city. So,
Oh.
you do have a detector.
I guess starting tomorrow, we're going to be sweeping district by district.
All right.
Maybe we should go to a magic shop. Perhaps they have something that can help us.
But we have the detector. It's in your hand.
Beep.
Yet we have not found him yet.
Yeah, that's why we start doing a sweep district by district of the city. That
Yeah.
while my food.
We should do that, yes, but we should also check a magic shop to see if there is anything else that can.
Would we have the gold for that? Because weird magical objects generally cost a lot.
I will cover it.
I will cover.
Alright. I guess. Yeah, I don't see an issue with that then. Is there any place we haven't been yet? Oh, Masterful DM. As I'm trying to get a mental note of where we've been in the city with the. Hello there, cat. He just dropped a dart in front of me again. One moment.
Cat loves darts.
He just howled for it. Okay. So, where have we not been in the city?
Well, I mean, there's lots of places you haven't been. You know, the actual waters of Hunter's Landing and the palace in Relden exclusively.
I think we should sweep the noble areas first.
Yeah,
Because that's where we
Yeah.
that's where we saw the. That's also probably where there will be a magic shop.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Well, If I were a robot that was owned by nobles, I might still be around nobles. So we might want to let things die down a little bit and go there if we're going to do that. If not, we might want to go to a seedy place, because if I were a noble with a lot of money, I'd have criminals hide me.
Let us.
Let us do one, then another.
Sounds good to me. The rest of you? Thoughts?
Might also be worth it. Worth it to check out the ships. The lady I talked to mentioned the gnomes have clockwork soldiers. That it might go there to it might be attracted by some of its own kind.
Yeah, because it might be trying to smuggle itself out, too.
Alright, that sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, I like that plan.
So,
Should we
going.
leave now?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with leaving right now. Let me just finish these pastries first.
You're gobbling up the 2 pastries and the mug of spiced ale that was given to you.
Yes, happy humanoid.
Pat, pat.
She just blinks for a moment, and then remembers something. Pulls out a little note, writes it down, or down something on it, and then puts it back into her pack.
All right. So, are you going out to investigate the ships first today? Do you want to do that tomorrow?
I think we should do it sooner than later.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we don't want another horse incident on our hands.
Definitely not.
I don't know, guys. I think we should stay here for a while. I mean, the horse incident was... I'm kidding. Let's go.
The horse incident was upsetting.
Too bad we'll never figure out what happened.
Yeah, it's too bad.
We'll never know what happened.
All right. So, let's see here. Returning back to the docks. Again, the docks are still bustling with activity. Taking your detector with you.
Yes, and looking for our magic item shops. On our way. Not going out of our way.
So, from where you're at to where the docks are at, it's not in some of the fancier parts of town where some of the item shops would most likely be, because you're the southern parts of the city. So there's not really an item shop along the way to the docks. But as you arrive at the docks, detector in hand, trying to find trace of this this half golem construct that's been terrorizing and causing all sorts of problems. As you get by the ships from Googlehelm, the detector starts beeping more frantically.
The detector starts beeping.
In a more frequent paces. Beep, 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 beep.
It's this way.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, I try and follow the beeps.
So the beeps are more frequent when you get by the three ships. Though you can't really pinpoint which of the three, because by each one it's beeping about as fast as it was by the Damros Villa.
I think we're onto something here.
Well, it would seem so. We'll need
Now,
There are
let's
people
see.
around.
to...
Yes, lots of people.
There are.
There's city guard. There's crewmen. There's various other city folk, like you, walking around the docks. Let's see. So,
Harry kind of just cocks her head and stares for. Were these the same ships as last time?
It's the same ship, Dave, right?
yeah, these are the same three ships. You see the light elves working on the ships, both on the exterior and upon the deck of the ship itself. The activity on the ships is just as busy as the activity on the streets.
Is it beeping more towards where the dark elf went?
No, but it is beeping more by the ships though themselves.
I can request a haul cargo for one of them and see if I can find anything.
This ship full of light elves?
Yeah, they're all light elves. And they seem to be rather reclusive.
Guys, what if, and stay with me for a moment on this one. They're not light elves.
Okay, then what are they, Airy?
What if for a moment we were to say they were dark elves? And I haven't suddenly lost my mind.
And what? They're just all wearing makeup?
No.
Although I guess that would be make a little bit more sense. Dark elves be working on gnome ships, because underground and stuff. But again, maybe not.
What if they were all under a big illusion?
That is the ship I should go ask to work on.
Huh.
I wonder, maybe I can get a meeting with their captain. And when they're all distracted with me, you guys can look around for it.
I will go with you.
All right. So you're going to ask one of the crewmen to speak with their captain.
Yep.
I am going as Ares' bodyguard. A quiet bodyguard. One that just looks like a giant construct of armor.
One that looks like a giant vehicle of destruction.
But I mean, like trying to feign non-sentience.
Fair. All right. So, Ari, you start walking down the actual dock itself, where you see the elven crewmen working on the sides of these large galleons, as well as the flagship itself. What do you say or do as you approach? They don't seem to keep much mind to you as you're walking by, as many other people have been walking by the docks themselves.
All right, let's work for violently waving hi.
So as you start waving and shouting hi, some of the crewmen on the deck of the ship just kind of stop and look down towards you. Some of the elves that are hanging by ropes along the side of the ship, sitting on kind of like a flat board, working on the side of the vessel, kind of turn towards you. Yeah, hello. What do you want?
Hi, my name is Ari. I run a tavern here in town, and I've been going around from ship to ship, talking with the captains to see if they can sell me some of their wares for decoration for my inn. Is your captain available? I'd very much like to talk.
Well, Captain's not here at the moment, but we'll see if he is interested in hearing what you have to say. And he kind of looks up to one of the crewmen on the deck of the ship, and he begins moving his hands a bit. He's casting a spell.
Ari's gonna pull out a certain bag of coins and just start jingling. I'm really short on time, so. And unfortunately, I can't identify any spell.
So, after about a minute or so, the elf on the deck of the ship responds back, Captain, we'll speak with you. In fact, he'd like to invite you aboard the narwhal for some food and drink. He will be returning to the docks. Till then, he invites you aboard to relax and until you can discuss further with what you have to offer. Do you accept our captain's invitation?
That sounds lovely. Would the captain mind my my staff coming with?
And he begins, still It's like he's having a conversation with somebody who's not here. And after some pauses back, no, that will be fine. Captain Reed will accept your companions, but he will take him some time before he gets here. He is not nearby.
Well, that's fine. I do have a bit more trade business to conduct. I shall be back soon. Thank you very much for your hospitality.
All right. So, having made a appointment to see this Captain Reed from these Googlehelm ships, what do you do, Ari?
I'm gonna go to the others and tell them the captain will see us tonight.
Alright, good.
Sounds like
Hey.
a good first step. It's a good first step.
Ari, can I talk to you over there for a moment? I need to ask you about a few girl things.
Oh, sure. We'll be back in a moment.
Okay, so all right, so you, Ari, and Armory, you both kind of go to the side here. What do you discuss?
So, Ari, that guy seemed like he was talking to himself. The other one looked like he was moving his hands like a psychopath. Or a magic user. And you're saying that they're not what they are. What's that about?
Well, I mean, I assume they were doing something to talk to their captain. That or they're talking to the air and, they've gone crazy. And this will be really weird for dinner, but, it's not the weirdest dinner I've had.
Poor Ari.
So, why do you think they're all under an illusion?
Because they are.
And how do you know this?
Because I'm a part-time paladin. It's one of our abilities.
I don't. She's gonna look over at the party. Do they Oh my god. Okay.
Do you not believe me? Why would you?
Don't worry about it. Listen, Ari. I just think that, it's really impressive and cool. Just not that paladins know how to do it. I don't want to know how, though. Don't think it's my business. But, you might want to try to be a little bit more subtle. A lot a bit more subtle.
Sub sandwiches do sound really good right now.
They are.
You know,
I
don't
want
know
a subtle too.
God damn it. I don't even know if you're fucking with. Okay, you know what? Have this note. I saw a pretty Asimar lady, and I think that your friends might be able to find her.
Why?
Listen. Sometimes a girl just needs to taste some peaches. And then she's gonna walk back to the party.
fuck is this?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how confused is Aerie right now?
Triangle.
Well, let me know when she's made it up to banana and shiny red balloon.
We're pretty close.
Shit, Imri's fucking a goddamn triangle at the moment. Aerie points out that that's an illusion. No one goes, Aerie, what? Imri's now of the opinion that, wow.
I mean, Vorth was like, listen, don't worry.
The Fae work in weird ways, man.
Barth,
Listen.
I'm actually
You don't-
new.
Oh no.
Don't.
It's all an illusion.
And that's when Barth pisses his pants.
That's when he starts shooting
Screaming.
Eldritch Blast at everything.
Nah, he'd be shooting Eldritch Blast while screaming, not the other hand. Please, not the other hand.
Not again. Fair enough. All right. So, what is the plan?
I guess we're just waiting around until he gets back.
Imri is contemplating the universe.
Are there any shops around here?
I mean, it's mostly merchants trying to sell like food bits. They have some smaller shops further in the Drakesbrook district within the ward itself, but they're like furniture shops, little knick-knack shops, like, you know, little things for clothing, basic goods. So if you need, you know, some basic supplies and things, they have the shops to supply you with.
Okay. I guess we're waiting.
All right. So, about 2 hours pass. And that is where you see this this very strapping elf. White elf just comes walking down the docks. The guards just kind of let him through. He's got a kind of like a silk shirt on that's kind of opened at the chest. It looks like it's designed to accentuate his trim figure and his barrel chest. He does have kind of a very flashy looking rapier that hangs from an equally stylish belt. And as he approaches down the docks, are you the folk that my crewmen told me about? The ones willing to want to meet? I am Lord Rockwell Reed, Captain Lockwell Reed. And who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Says, flashing his pearly white teeth.
Well, my name is Erica Tolson, and this is my crew. And then she points her hand for them to introduce themselves.
Well, hi, my name is Imri Ahaslet. Last name courtesy of Roll20.
And
I am I am Barth Brightwood.
My name is Elodia. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. And he just kind of bows towards you, Lodia. Well, what do we say we go inside the Narwhal and discuss what you wanted to speak with me about over a nice glass of wine and, well, less salty surroundings. Tell me, have you ever had the pleasure of dining with a captain in his quarters?
No. I was always sent home before that part.
Tell you, it's quite an experience. Please, welcome aboard the Narwhal. And he just kind of walks up the plank towards the ship, offers you to come aboard. The other elves kind of, after they move out of the way of the plank, and they keep a respectful distance from it. They're not right on top of it. They're about, 10, 15 feet from it.
I'm staying next to Airy.
The boards of the plank just kind of creak as Cindy starts making his way up the plank onto the deck of the ship.
Well, I guess we'll go on. I guess we'll follow. Harry, Barth, no, Amory. Barth stops there, and whispers to her, "See if you can find anything. Take a look around."
Harry's gonna be the sneak thief.
Hey, you two have similar names, okay? And you're equally ridiculous characters.
Hey, listen. Just because I'm a flaming lesbian doesn't mean that I'm weird, damn it. Now the ropes and the peaches and the stabbing and all that means I'm weird.
As I said, you're both equally bizarre characters.
Okay, so that was meant for Imrie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, are the people watching everyone else as opposed to the 13-year-old child?
Make a insight check.
Fuck.
That's always a great prelude to a roll. Fuck.
We're just gonna blow the inspiration here.
That's why you have it.
It didn't really help that much.
As far as you can tell, they are looking at the others more than you, especially Cindy.
Flip up the hood. Wait, could I sleight of hand to flip up the hood so that it's less noticed?
Make a sleight of hand check.
I mean, you could just wait until we're in a less.
I mean, I also roll
populated
sleight of
area.
hand with a plus 15.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it helps when you roll a 4, so,
I mean, this is true. But, even if she's asked honestly, she's just gonna be like, I'm young, this is just all weird to me, and the hood is safety. And she's gonna wait until we're a little bit more secluded.
Are you going to wait till, like, inside the quarters of the ship, or while still on the deck of the ship in the outside?
It's nighttime, right?
No, it's still daylight.
Oh, I was under the impression we were doing this at night. Nah, I'm gonna wait till we're inside the ship.
Okay. Yeah, it only took the captain a couple hours to get to the ship after you talked to the crew, which was still, like, early afternoon. So there's still plenty of daylight. So, making way into the quarters with the captain. He brings you to this little side cabin, which is like a huge dining cabin. It's bedecked with golden filigree. There's purple curtains festooned with silken tassels. The wood paneling is scented with various, like, perfume fragrances. And you can see that the crewmen of the ship have already starting to lay out this magnificent looking feast on these golden platters sprawled atop this mahogany table of exquisite craftsmanship. Even the dollies that the food is being brought in are something to behold. And the captain makes his way to the head of the table, and he lifts up this ornate wine goblet that one of the crewmen quickly fill up. And he just kind of gestures you to sit. So, once again, let us discuss why you wanted to speak with me. And again, welcome aboard the Narwhal. He just flashes again his pearly white teeth as he takes a sip from the wine goblet. And this is where we're going to actually stop for today.
All right.
So, it's a good enough spot as any.
Yeah. I enjoyed
Yeah.
Barth's grocery shopping adventures.
Well, it was grocery shopping and gathering information. So, but nutrition is important. You can make a nice stew or with all the ingredients that he procured. But yes. So, interesting session today. I learned more about Imrie and her obsession with peaches.
Learned too much about Imrie today.
We all learned more than we wanted to know about Imrie, but nevertheless.
Listen, alright. Her father has the last name that he has slept for a reason.
Yeah, because that was the one that was randomly generated by Roll20. I don't know what you're talking about.
That
That's
man-
perfectly normal.
Hey, listen, that man is a man.
He's a man's man. He sleeps with everything under the sun, right?
Dude tethered a sphinx and said, "You're my wife now." I wish I could have rolled intimidation that day.
That is going to be an interesting story to to hear.
Oh, it was the greatest one shot I have ever been a part.
Wow. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah. Thank you for everybody who watched today. Don't be shy about participating in chat. We'll try to answer any questions, conversations during play. Again, everybody's welcome at our table. If you want to talk to us outside of the streams, just click the link to our Discord. If you want to play in the games, we need to get to know you a little bit better before we let everybody in. So again, click that Discord and just chat with us there. Again, say hi. Let everybody know who you are. But let me just see. But yeah, if you like the game and want to see it again, we'll be playing same time next week, 1 to 5 Central, continuing with the D&D Dark Legacy campaign. Coming soon will probably be a Pathfinder, maybe a one-shot, just to kind of test out the system. And we're still discussing about implementing a tryout for the Dark Legacy campaign. So if you want to see that in action, stick with us. Anyway, everybody, you have a wonderful day, and we'll be signing off.
See ya.